Grace and peace, everybody. Happy Thursday. Happy Thankful Thursday to y'all. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the titles. You know what we're going to be doing. We're going to have an interesting conversation on today. We're going to be talking about church security. And of course, everybody knows what happened this past Sunday in Minnesota. Anarchists and those who hate the church invaded and ran into a church protesting something that had nothing to do with church whatsoever. Well, matter of fact, let me bring that up too, because that's a telling story. This is breaking news. The woman that was responsible for that has now been arrested. Let me bring this in real quick for y'all, and then I'm gonna bring my guest in, and we got a lot to talk about today. So shout out to the best live chat on the internet. So this is the woman that is responsible for this. She runs this kind of clandestine organization that runs up on or pops up. This is pop-up protests and such of that nature. She's sitting there with Don Lemon. I don't know why Don Lemon is not also in jail, but by God's grace, he'll be in jail before the sun goes down today because they violated so many laws in doing this. So real quick, let's check it out.
Tell us why you're doing this.
This is Operation Pull Up, more of a clandestine operation. We show up somewhere that is a key location. They don't expect us to come there. And then we disrupt business as usual. So that's what we're about to go do right now. Demanding justice for Renee Good and letting them know that this will not.
Tell us why you're doing
All right,
this
so
is Operation Pull Up, more of a clandestine operation.
Sorry about that. All right. Yeah, so she got arrested today. So I'm hoping that more will be arrested. That big burly beard guy, I hope he gets arrested. Don Lemon, please have them arrested, please. That's on my Christmas list, and we can go ahead and give me my Christmas list, my Christmas gift early. Bam, help your boy out. But anyway, y'all, thank y'all so much for jumping in. So what does your church do if they find a group of agitators, protesters roll up on your doorstep on Sunday? What do they do? Do they have anything in place in case something happens where maybe not something as big as and robust as this, but just a person that comes on campus that has ill intent? Does your church have a plan in place? Do you know what the plan is? Does your church know what the plan is? So I have a friend of mine today. His name is James. Shout out to him, if I could pull it in. Shout out to you, James. How are you, friend?
I am great. Thank you. How about yourself?
Outstanding, sir. Thank you so much. I'll introduce. James is responsible for the security at my church. And for the longest, as I've been there, James has been responsible for it. Not only running security team, but other aspects of it, from making sure that certain things are installed in the right place, making sure we can check on our phones and see what's going on, opening doors from remote places. James has done a fantastic job. And I just wanted him to come on today and just kind of talk about maybe help people or church leaders or persons, congregation members, and say, hey, you know what? We don't have a plan. And maybe what they could do or where they could start is something as simple as what could they start doing Sunday to start being a little bit more vigilant in the house of worship. So there we go. So that's it. What do you got, my friend?
Well, I would say the easiest and number one thing to do is to get people off of their phones. They need to get the phones out of their hands. They need to put it on silent and put it in their pocket. Being situationally aware of the things that are going on around you is very key to the whole just the general well-being of the flock. Whether you are in a security position or that you are an officer of that church, or whether that you're just attending or you're a member, being able to see things that are unfolding around you can go much further than most people can really comprehend by the time they've looked up from what their phone is doing. Yeah, they could have done something about it. So just in a general way, security around a church doesn't usually fall around the whole what people tend to think about. I'm trying to phrase this the right way. I don't want you to get in trouble with this. typically when you have mass news about a situation at a place of worship or a school, people tend to focus on that specific incident when it comes to the church security. But in all reality, those mass large large scale incidents that happen on these campuses, they usually are not, those are not typically going to happen. What we were looking for is more of what we're going to run into every day as people come in, because we are an open place. We are a place that we invite everybody. But in reality, you're going to be more watching for people who are stealing, people who are potentially sex offenders, those who are predators, looking for those kinds of people. Those, you're more likely to run into somebody like that, or even I would say drug addicts as well. You're more likely to run into people like that than you are to run into a situation where a mass incident happens.
So let me also add, I think to your point that you're making, a lot of the time when I'm looking at my phone or I'm doing something, I'm distracted, I might not see somebody who comes in that I don't recognize. I think it's fair to say security just starts with literally recognizing and looking up and seeing somebody. Hey, I've never seen you before. How are you? My name is
That's
Jason.
correct.
Your name is John. Nice meeting you, John. Because a lot of the time, and we've talked about this, I can say, hey, I shook that guy's hand. I know that he smells like the wacky tobacco. His eyes are bloodshot. His eyes are skittish all around. And he came in and asked, where's the kids area? But he didn't have a kid. There's a problem there. But if we just allow
that's
him
a red
to
flag.
that's a huge red flag.
Your alarm bells should be going off at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think,
I mean,
to your point, if you're not distracted by looking at your phone, and I'm not saying that you can't, be fellowshipping or talking to people, but just have your head on swivel. Because we've had many a time at our church where we've had people come in that this is their first time coming to church. And they kind of stand out like a sore thumb. But somebody reaching out to them saying, hey, how are you? Good to meet you. What can I help you out with? Do you need to know where to sit? Here's a bulletin. Here's the Bibles and the such of that where you can find them. They know, like, oh, I don't know. Maybe James, we don't know. Maybe we stopped somebody from doing something bad.
Yeah, and that's part of the mentality of our church is, as a security team member, you're not always just trying to target people. You want to be just essentially what you are is you're an aggressive greeter. You're the first face that comes to that when somebody comes to the door, you're the person who opens that door for them. You're the person who's able to kind of vet visually how somebody's acting. Are they dressed inappropriately? Are they dressed unseasonably? Like, are they wearing a coat in the middle of July? Well, that's another red flag you should probably take a look at. So,
right.
And not just asking and as an aggressive greeter, what I mean is not being like, hey, come to this room and let's put you under a single light bulb and tie you to a chair. I mean, more like
we've done that a time or two.
Yeah, it's more about asking inquisitive questions, not a yes or no question. It is what brings you in today? How'd you hear about us? What are you looking to find here? Like, what can we do to help you?
Mm-hmm. And I'll add, so that to take the specter of security off, we have tons of members who are members at our church now who came in, and myself or James have greeted them, and now they are members of our church because we didn't let them just fall through the cracks. Somebody cared enough to remember their name. There's a gentleman every Sunday. I come up to him and say his name. He still doesn't remember my name. He forgets it, but he's been there for a good little while, and he's always amazed that I still remember his name. And so, but he just kind of wandered in. He just came in, and nobody was going to say anything to him. But again, that aggressive, I don't like the word aggressive greeting. I think we could call it maybe intentional greeting.
Yes.
How about intentional? Is that good?
Yeah. Aggressive is too aggressive, I guess.
Aggressive's too aggressive, James. All right. Shout out to everybody. T-shirt. Aggressive greeter. I can get the t-shirt made. I know a place that can sell them for you. If you just jumped in, my name is Jason. I have James here. He is responsible for security at my own church. And we just wanted to help people. If your church doesn't have a security plan, we have a couple resources that maybe can help you get started, or maybe even ask questions so you know what to do in the event of anything, because it doesn't have to be as grandiose as what we saw in Minnesota this past week, like we were just saying. It could be a person that just comes in off the street and doesn't know where to go. And you could very well derail an event that maybe was intended to happen, but because you were an intentional greeter or aggressive greeter, whichever one we want to use, you might have helped sway that in a different direction, steer that in a better direction. So let me pull this in for us, James, so we can pop in. Okay, so this is ChristianWarriorTraining.com. The link is down in the description as well as in the chat. And this, James, you want to just tell us and explain?
Yeah. So I came across Keith Graves, who runs this website through YouTube. So who he is his background is in law enforcement and national security and doing a lot of investigative work. He's very, very well connected within the law enforcement community, and he still has ties within it. So it was set on his heart to help churches specifically, and that's because he is a Christian. He does follow Christ. He believes Christ to be his Lord and Savior, and he sees a big gap. He sees a big gap in that the way churches are open and the way that they are susceptible to wolves. It's not necessarily our place to be keeping people out, but we also still need to be vigilant about people coming in. People are inherently sinful, so inherently sinful people tend to do sinful things. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to create a safe place as a security team, or what, if you want to use a softer word, we are a safety team. So what the safety team's purpose is to ensure the physical well-being so that the spiritual well-being can be fed. So in that, this website right here is a great resource.
Okay. Say that one again. We might need to turn that into a short.
I don't even know what I said. You might have to back it up.
Oh man, come on, James. You got okay. Don't worry about it.
So
I'll
the goal
make sure
is for okay, yeah, you can do it.
I love it. Okay, so in the chat and in the description of this video is Christian Warriors Training. Sorry about that. There we go. Christian Warriors Training. And the super cool thing about it is right here, you can go see our courses, and you click on their courses, and they have several courses over all different types of situations, and they are free 99. Can't beat that with a bat. So
yeah.
What to do with it?
So if you're looking to start, okay, you want to go ahead?
I was just going over, like, what to do with suspicious persons, dealing with suspicious cars in your parking lot, that kind of stuff. Master report writing for church safety ministry, those kind of things like that. But go ahead. What were you going to say, James?
Well, I was going to say, if you have a safety team already in place or a security team already in place, that's fantastic. That's great. I applaud you for doing so. There's not enough safety in the world you can probably employ on things. But if you do not have one, this is a great place to start, whether you bring that up to your pastor or an officer or somebody who's interested in doing so. But having passionate people who want to do these things is probably the most important part. But this is a great resource on where to start, how to implement those things, what to do in difficult situations. So this talks through those things. They're actually video classes that you take, and then once you've completed them, you actually get a certificate of completion as well. So if you have a security team in place and you see a course on here that you find very beneficial for that team, you can just direct your team to this place where they can actually go and watch it, learn about it, and then get their certification in that.
I love it. And I would recommend, just maybe for everybody to kind of start, if you have or you don't have, these two right here: Safe Sanctuary, Advanced Surveillance for your church, and then De-escalation Tactics are great. Because imagine if you were an aggressive greeter standing at the door and a mob of people come marching up, chanting about whatever foolishness. How do you de-escalate that? What do you do? So I think these are probably two really good tools right there. And yeah, those would be the two I would recommend. But I think they're all very beneficial, and I appreciate that, James, for sure.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So yeah, again, Keith has got a lot of experience. He does all this stuff for free. He does have a Substack and a Patreon and stuff like that. So I mean, there are ways that you can contribute to his the way he's doing it. But what he finds most important is getting this information out there and keeping people informed and what to look for in these situations. Um,
I
I
absolutely
mean,
love it.
and if you can take anything away from what to do in a security situation, or if you don't have anything, the number one thing is that everything starts in the parking lot. That's the number one thing. So having visual
Oh,
in the parking lot, having
get a
visual of the
suspicious
parking
car.
lot.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
and in all reality, having somebody there in the parking lot is ideal because, well, nothing's going to happen within the church that you don't see coming at that point.
Absolutely. And think about it. Not everything, every crime at a church happens in the church. So
Correct.
what if somebody's
We
trying
have
to,
video evidence of that.
yeah, that we do. Maybe somebody's out checking car doors, walking around, trying to see if they can do a little quick go grab and go. So
Mhm.
being out there, being alert, having cameras, having someone walk around the parking lot, secure the perimeter of the building, and such of that nature is super beneficial. And again, it just lets people know that hey, this is important to us. That it's so important that we will walk around and check and make sure nobody's messing around with your car. Or we're aware when a car pulls up and nobody gets out and they've been sitting there for 5 minutes, but we're aware of that, and we'll walk up to your window and say, "Hey, everything okay? Can I help you? You know, we still got fresh donuts. What's going on?" I know my
Got
shirt
coffee if
says
you're asleep.
right. We got aggressive greeters on our shirts because we're going to do that for you. I think that'd be great. Do you think aggressive greeters can get better coffee though? What about that? Can we get like special
We
coffee?
could probably do that. We can do that at our church.
I think so, man. I mean, we can put in the budget. I love it. I love it. All right,
I mean, I got a security budget. We can work it in.
we can do it. We can do it. Okay, so James, so what would you say maybe would you throw out as some besides putting your phone down, which I agree with you
Mhm.
100%. Is there anything else that somebody could do just a Sunday? Like, hey, I can be more aware of what's going on in my church if I do
X or Y or Z.
right. Yeah, X. So
Yeah.
X is put
Yeah.
my phone down. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, putting your phone down is number one. And then obviously, I would say this is more geared towards a team thing or having people in place. If you take notice of the way your church works, is you have a main entrance area, you have greeters, everything, and again, everything starts in the parking lot. So you should have
Parking lot.
greeters who are watching the parking lot, see who's coming in. Is this a group
Mhm.
coming in? Are these couple extra people coming in? Why did that person take so long to get their stuff before coming in? Why do they have so much stuff to come in
Right.
and worship? So that sort of thing. Why do they need an extra bag, sort of thing?
Why are they bringing
But
signs and pitchforks? What's going on here?
yeah, exactly. So, do they have a megaphone? That sort of thing. But within the churches, the hard part is if you're just within the congregation and you're not part of that security plan or that security team, or you're quote unquote off duty at that point, you're
Mhm.
there to worship, and it's very important. I will say it's very important to, if you're a part of a team like this, to be sure you rotate that team and that
Right.
everyone gets a chance to come and be fed spiritually. That's why we're there.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
hard part is everyone's attention is directed one way, and
Mhm.
typically the way people come in is through the back. So it is very difficult to be, I would say, situationally aware once you're within the congregation and you're singing and you're looking forward and you're listening to the pastor's words. Like it's much harder to take a look around at that point. Also, in the same vein as keeping your phone down, we're also trained once our phone is in our pocket. We're trained if we are inside of either a meeting or if we're in or if we're in the congregation. If our phone buzzes, well, we're trained to ignore that, which is why we actually don't use phones to communicate within our church. We use shortwave radios. We have
Correct.
little earpieces. We can talk to anybody. If I had a situation where I'm texting Jason saying, "Hey, I'm outside, kind of watching everything. 5 cars just pulled up, and people are getting picket signs out, and they're starting to walk up to the door." If I text him all that, one, it's going to take me a long time, and two,
Right.
once he gets it, will he actually read it, or is he going to say, "Oh, it's my phone's buzzed. I'll look at it after the service." Well,
Right.
if I had an easy little radio and he had something in his ear, I could say, Jason, I need your help right now. There's a group of
Right
people
on.
coming up. I need you to come and at least lock the door or at least walk up and block one of the doors so we can talk to these people before they start causing a problem.
Got you. Yeah, I agree with that
So
100%.
communication is definitely key.
Absolutely. I would maybe even for the layperson, I would just strongly encourage you not only to put your phone down because I think it's a distraction. I'm guilty as well. My name is Jason. I use my phone too much. But also, as James is saying, communicate. But maybe just let your church know, like, hey, I would like to know, is there any way, shape, or form I can be of support in this regard? Maybe it's something as simple as I'll make sure that the coffee is prepared so that the aggressive greeters are properly octaned to go around and do what they do, or whatever that nature. Again, all those things are just small parts of being like, I'll walk around and just double check, make sure all the doors are locked. That's a big deal. We have a lot of doors at our church, and we go around and walk around and make sure the doors are locked. Maybe that could be something you do, but there are lots of different ways that you can be a part of just providing a safe environment for your brothers and sisters in the Lord to worship the Lord, distraction free and safe. Because ultimately that's what this whole conversation was about, was just to point out how we can do that, to look at this as a resource that maybe you could pop into and such like that. But more importantly, know that you don't have to, if y'all don't have something, there's a great way to start. If you don't have something, you know what? All the deacons on Sunday, shake everybody's hand. Every guest that comes in the door gets, they're going to get their hand shook 3 times before they get to a pew, right? Or something of that nature, so that everybody knows, like, oh, I know you. And somebody saw me, right? I saw you, you're new, and you're not going to get away without me knowing you. But even more than that is not just, we want to be wondering if you're up to no good, but we also don't want you to feel like nobody cares or that nobody's interested in you. Because maybe your biggest issue is not that you came to church to do something bad or nefarious, but your biggest issue is that you have sin that you have not dealt with at the foot of the cross. And I don't want to, James doesn't want to, we don't want to be a distraction to that. And we want you to know, like, yes, you're in the right place to deal with your sin, Pilgrim. I like it. Anything else you want to add just for the lay person before we scoot on out of here? If there's any question, I don't see any questions, but anything else you want to add?
Definitely, if you feel a calling to do so, speak to somebody about it. If you feel like you really need a security team, I mean, really everybody should have a security team in place. And again, more than likely, you are not going to experience any sort of mass issue. If you understand what I'm saying, just trying to keep it cleaner for the tubes of you. You're going to run into everyday things. The drug addicts coming in looking for handouts. You're going to have potentially domestic violence issues, custody issues, potentially if somebody's in a custody battle over a child and somebody's upset that somebody has custody and somebody doesn't. Well, they know where those people are going to be on a Sunday between X time and X time. So it's definitely good to have be able to have a plan in place to break that sort of thing up. Knowing your local laws.
Yeah.
Your local laws.
No, I like that you brought that up, and I want to bring this comment up in here. It says, in addition to protecting the congregation, our guys also jumped into action during health emergencies, calling 911, directing EMTs and such. That's a perfect example. Excellent example. And you're right on the money. So the safety team has a lot of different roles. They wear a lot of different hats, if you will. And this is just one of them. So no, that's a great comment.
Because at the end of the day, when danger is seconds away, help is minutes away or minutes out.
Right.
You gotta be able to help yourself.
No question about that. So this one right here is a great comment as well. What about pagers to alert when shady people with signs are in the parking lot? I think the best way is what we have, walkie-talkies, with the little, you can do the Secret Service. My daughters call me Secret Service Dad. Oh, you're on Secret Service this week. I think that's the best way because you can communicate quickly. You have you can respond very quickly. You don't have to look at anything. So I can keep looking at you. I can hear it in my ear. I can reply back and keep on going. I never have to lose eye contact.
That's correct. And just a note on a little shortwave walkie-talkies, the way those work, having an earpiece in, sometimes people feel really silly wearing them. The first couple weeks that we had him in, we had every other person joking like, "Oh, you in the Secret Service now? Who's important? Who's here?" That sort of thing. It becomes it's a talking point because it's new.
Right.
After a couple weeks, people kind of just
Like,
forgot about them. It's
right.
actually more. We actually see people notice when officers or like our local church officers or our security team aren't wearing them. They actually get more concerned about that because they know that they don't have a way to communicate with each other.
Right.
But with that though, it's also a passive way to show new people that you are involved, that people are there. There's somebody else on the other side of that walkie-talkie. So maybe if somebody was an aggressor and wanted to try something, that actually might be more of a deterrent. They know that there are other people on the other side of that can come assist, or at least shows that we're somewhat prepared for a situation where we can call for ourselves for help.
I love it. All right, here's a good question. I don't know what to do with this one. What about a church that is small or mainly elderly people who might be unable to do as much physically?
So with that, well, if it's a small church, I don't know if I mean there's a couple of different follow-up questions with this, and
Mhm.
there could be tons of questions, I'm sure, but it's going to be very specific to churches. But in this instance right here, if it is a place that has many elderly people or it is very small, a good option would be to ask your local police department, like your city one, be in communication with them, being able to see if do they have an officer who can sit for an hour or two outside their church, just within the parking lot. Sometimes just having a police officer sitting in the parking lot is the largest deterrent anybody could ever have. They'll see that and they'll move on. So having maybe off-duty security officer coming to do that, whether that's paid or whether it's a giving of their time, that's going to be up to the local police office and how they handle those things. But that might be something that you can take a look into.
Absolutely. And you know what? He might be elderly, but somebody in your church that just drives around the parking lot
Yeah,
I mean, they just
exactly.
know like, oh, Deacon John, he got his phone on him and he's just driving around just checking because again, as James has said multiple times, everything starts in the parking lot. Even if they
That's right.
walk, even if they walk to your campus or to your church, they're going to pass through the parking lot to get to the building to some way,
Mhm.
shape, or form. So even if they get dropped off in an Uber, they're gonna be in the parking lot. So as long as somebody's there circling around, I mean, I've
Mhm.
walked around the building several times on Sunday, just walking around, making sure people
Just getting
see me.
steps in.
Get your steps in. Don't be on your phone, but get your steps
Yeah.
in. I
One
think there's
little
a good
side
point
note
there.
on that, on the elderly side and the smaller churches, there are physical limitations for people. We totally understand that. And depending on the situation, obviously,
Mhm.
if somebody's physically having a heart attack and an elderly person has a hard time, performing CPR or something like that, yeah, that's kind of a hard thing to do. But as far as like a security situation in order to take care of a potentially threatening situation, I hate to say it because like it's like we're Christians and we kind of believe but the whole God made man, Smith and Wesson made them all equal.
Right.
So take a look at the tools in which you use within
Right.
your
Right.
home or yeah. So if you get what I'm saying,
I
um,
totally get it. I totally get it.
you need to levelize the playing field, fighting fire with fire.
There we go. Um, and all your elderly people at church, reach out to the younger people in the community to try to get some younger people in church. There you go.
There you go.
That'll
Yes,
change. That'll help fix it as well. Get that median age down for sure. Um,
that that's how we got into Smyrna Press.
well, there you go.
Yeah.
I think too, having a plan in place is important. Pointing people who will call 911 if there's any emergency, and people direct law enforcement or ambulance, lock doors, etc. That's it. That's
Yeah.
the safety plan. That's it. And it doesn't have to be, we pull out our Second Amendment weapons, but it could be something simple as we let this.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be responsible for directing fire or
Mhm.
EMTs this direction, and it's such like that. If you have I mean that is an option as well because it's not just security; it's really ultimately safety.
Yes,
And
and on that, it's very important as well to practice those plans you implement and put in place. It's great to have it on paper. It's great for everyone to know it, but until you practice it, if the situation were to arise where it was necessary, well, now everyone's technically doing it for the first time. Everyone has a general idea on what to do, but they should practice that. Kind of like I'm not going to go into a heart surgery if the doctor just graduated and he knows everything about the heart theoretically.
mhm,
I would want him to have practiced before he came and did heart surgery on me.
makes sense. I agree 100%. All right, my friend. I appreciate you, James. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any other question. Just looking real quick. I think we've tackled all of the questions. Neek says, of course, Christian Warrior is a great content on Substack and YouTube on church
Mhm.
security. Helped us revamp our procedures. There we go.
That's awesome.
Shout out to him. There we go.
Yeah. I've
It
been
is
meaning to drop
James
him a message.
approved. And I like how Future said it. Thank you, James. We appreciate you very much. You're always welcome, sir. I did
Thank
not
you.
want this to be super long. I wanted it to be something just a primer to maybe expose you to some resources. If you and your church had not already seen this website, then maybe you can start there. And that might be a great way to get started. Or just be an aggressive greeter this Sunday, like shaking hands and kissing babies and say, why are you carrying that Molotov cocktail? Why are you holding this pitchfork and megaphone? We don't need that. So okay. Yeah, and I like this biblical worldview. At my church, we have guys stationed all four corners of the church. That's another great strategy. Keeping your eyes moving and your eyes on everyone because we're about safety here.
And everyone needs to know how to do everyone's job, not just your one job. Don't know how
That is
to
correct.
just don't train on just your one corner and understand you need to
That
know the
corner.
other three corners.
That's correct. Because if somebody's not in their corner or their corner has been compromised, what are you
Mhm.
going to do if you are now called to be in that corner?
Mhm.
You all pick up what I'm throwing down. James, maybe next time we'll have you come on, maybe talk about some advanced things like technology and of course
Certainly.
we have other things in play like cameras and doors that lock and doors that can only
Mhm.
be open at certain times and all that kind of stuff. Key cards, that's kind of great.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff.
With
So there's advancedness to the safety plan as well. But
and yeah,
ultimately,
we could be on here for days probably doing
oh
talking
yeah,
about breaking down every type of situation, but yeah, I mean, I would love to come back on anytime you invite me to. Like you said earlier before, I was going to reiterate the whole um video clip earlier
yeah,
about how the interview, how she intended to go and to disrupt everything. Well,
yeah.
uh keep in mind, federally it is a crime to walk into a place of worship or religion with the intent and or knowingly want to disrupt. That is a federal crime at the federal level and or obviously federal level, but look up your local state if you're not in the state of Georgia. But it is also a crime within the state of Georgia to intend to disrupt any sort of worship service.
Well, you know what? Let's end on a happy note then. They
Yeah.
arrested somebody else since we've been here. All right.
Wow.
Breaking news. Another perp walk. Chantel Louisa Allen has officially been charged with conspiracy to deprive rights due to her role in the St. Paul Church riots. The ringleader, Nakima Armstrong, was also arrested this morning. They are in federal custody at
Yep.
the direction of Pam Bondi. Next, Don Lemon. I'm telling you right now, if Don Lemon don't get arrested, Pam, I don't know, Pam, you might be back on my Christmas list. I might invite you to the cookout this weekend. But I need so let's enjoy these sweet tears, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Lockup's in there. We'll bring her in. She'll stand off to the side. I know this only because I just did it once.
That's a big back activity right there. Uh-huh. Don't look down. Go and be proud. It's some big back activity. Go ahead and be proud of yourself.
Hey, in their interview, they said they plan to disrupt.
Well, guess what? Now we plan to make fun of you.
Lockup's in there.
Self-incriminating.
All right.
We'll bring her in. She'll stand off.
I don't
to
know.
the
This
side.
I don't know, James. I hope this is going to be maybe we'll get 2 or 3 more. If I need that guy with that wild beard, I need him, and I need Don Lemon. And that,
Yeah, the
look,
guy who screamed.
I need him. I need him
Yeah.
to get that walk. I do think it's interesting though. But shout out. Look, man, we don't want to be making fun of these people. We can't be doing
No,
that.
I mean,
Of course not.
I mean, if anything, we want to invite him back to church.
Right. We want you to come actually get saved
Yeah.
and see the
we want you
purpose
to come
and
back.
right for the right purpose of church.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay,
Did
now I was
did he
trying to
go?
see if he got. I see him, but he hasn't gotten arrested yet. It's very funny who is getting arrested. But I digress. I'm not going to bring that up. I'll talk about that offline. I think it's funny who has gotten arrested and who has not. It's very funny. Oh, they got a picture of the woman. Yeah, she was there. Yeah, she was there at the thing. Okay. All right,
Yeah.
we got to stop.
Abiding by the Constitution.
There we go. But James, I want to say thank you so much, man. I did not
Yeah,
mean
thank you.
to go off the rails like that, but thank you so very much, man, for your time today. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody in the Best Live Chat on the internet. We appreciate y'all rocking with us. Next time we do this again, I'll make sure that I'll be a little bit more professional. I'll turn off TikTok because I got Twitter because I'm over here enjoying watching these perp walks.
I enjoyed it. Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, James, thanks so much. Everybody, I'm going to drop you back, James, if you want to hang out. 1 second. Everybody, thank y'all again for hanging out with us. This was meant to be a short primer, kind of give you some ideas, expose you to christianwarrior.com, maybe hear some things about aggressive greeting and such like that, and not just church security, but church safety. I hope that it helped you out. If you have questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. I'll ask James to check them out. Maybe it's something else we can help out with or other resources we can help your church with, or at least guide you in the right direction so that you can continue to provide a safe and effective worship experience and worship time for your congregation. So thank y'all so much for rocking with us. I'll see you all this evening. I got our live stream tonight. It'll be at 6:30. So I'm looking forward to seeing y'all then. Everybody have a great day. Grace and peace. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Jay Whitt Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.